sure having a hard time getting this video out. Okay, so did the Titanic really sink, or was it the Olympic? Over the years, people have spoken about the Titanic and learned how it sunk on that dreadful night in April 1912. However, some people are led to believe that it was, in fact, its sister ship, the Olympic, that sunk as part of an insurance scam. Within this article, I will talk about the exact night and all the events that led to this theory. In the end, I hope you will have made your own decision as to which ship really lies in the North Atlantic Ocean at depth of around 12,500 feet deep. The reason people, I'm sorry, again, having a hard time with my words today. The reason behind people thinking that the ship is not really Titanic takes us back to the 20th September 1911, when the Olympic collided with the HMS Hawk just off the coast of the Isle of Wight. And I had just played this at the beginning of this video. This incident caused many problems for the ship's owners. White Star Line, now let me tell you who owns them, and prepare yourselves to be shocked. But White Star Lines is owned by not only Morgan, but hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen. White Star Line is owned by the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds as well. So, insurance scam? Oh, hell yeah. I don't even need to continue reading this, to be honest. But I will. Okay? So, White Star Line, okay, this meant that it would have to be taken out of service while they repaired it. But this also meant that the maiden voyage of the Titanic had to be put back from the 20th of March to the 10th of April. This at the time was something that White Star Line could not afford to do, as they had legal bills to pay and the cost of repairing the Olympic as well. This meant that they had to come up with a way to claim back not only the money that they would have missed out on due to the Olympic not being in service, loss of revenue, but also the money they couldn't claim back from the incident. So they came up with a plan. The plan was simple. Switch Olympic, okay? She was already damaged. Alright? Switch the Olympic with the Titanic and sink it to claim compensation. Well, these guys are cheesy, man. Anyway, whatever. So, where was I? No one would know they had swapped the ships, except the people in charge. As if you looked at the ships when they were sitting beside each other, you would not know which one was which, unless you looked at the nameplates on both ships. As soon as the plan was set in motion, they went about changing the Olympic to look exactly like its sister ship by covering the floors with carpet, as the Olympic has tile flooring, and the passengers and crew who had been on Olympic, then Titanic, would have been able to see the footprints left by previous passengers. If they didn't do this, people would have wondered why this brand new ship that no one had been on was covered in footprints and stains from spilled drinks. Okay? Other parts of the ship would have been changed as well. For example, taking out the cabins from on B deck from the actual Titanic and replace them with the Olympic's promenade to make the switch that all more believable. Okay. There is one thing that allows people to tell the difference between the two ships, are the portholes on the sea deck. Okay. When the Titanic was pictured while being built, it had 14 evenly spaced portholes. But when it left Southampton on doomed maiden voyage on April 10th, 1912, it had 16 unevenly spaced portholes, which is evidence that the Olympic and the Titanic were switched. This is not the only piece of evidence that can be gathered to help back up this theory. There are also people who had built the Titanic back in the shipyard, Harland and Wolff in Belfast, that over the years had come out and said that the two ships were in fact swapped, and if they told anyone, White Star Line told them it would basically be the last job they ever did. Wow. Okay. So obviously they would have kept quiet because would have kept quiet, but they didn't because the families of the people who built the ship know about the scam. Oh, look at this guy. Wow. Paddy Fenton is someone who had told his fellow seamen that they were, in fact, switched. So, anyway, a man in Australia sent a letter to the Northern Star newspaper on July 31st, 1996, which talks about a conversation his son had with Paddy. Here's an extract of that letter. When the surviving crew got to port, they were all taken aside and met by two men, one in a high position of the company, and the other a man was a man in a very high position in the government. Maybe the shadow government. Rockefeller, Rothschild, those guys. The government man read the crew the Official Secrets Act. Let's see if the Official Secrets Act. Okay, well, that's not really anything big deal. Explaining that if they told the reason for the sinking or the rumors of an insurance scam, they would serve a minimum of 20 years in jail and would never get a job when they got out. So again, more threats, more bullying, more lies, more BS, and we've been duped. So, which ship is at the bottom of the ocean? The Titanic or the Olympic? My vote is the Olympic. Alright, everybody. I'm out. Have a wonderful day. And until next time, thanks for watching.